So we're in the key of E. So when I play the E chord, this delay is going to resonate. Alright guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn about the Reso delay. Now this is actually short for resonant delay. It's an interesting pedal and I got a request to go over it. So long story short, it is a delay that is based on resonancy. And so as you can see here, you can choose your scale, which would be major, minor, melodic, Dorian, right? And then you choose your key. And what that means is the delay is only going to activate on resonant frequencies. So I'm going to play a G chord. And as you can hear, there wasn't much, you hear some frequency range, right? It's kind of like a harmonics thing. But if I play the E chord, you see that? So we're in the key of E. So when I play the E chord, this delay is going to resonate off the E notes. So you see that? Now if I go out of the key, you see it doesn't sound good. It's nasty, but that's because it's not resonating on the intended key. So you don't get the full note. So let me go ahead and make this more wet. So for instance, here I am playing more E notes. You see that? Resonates really powerfully. But if I go to the key of G, so G is not in the E scale at all. So there's very little resonancy, right? Whereas F sharp is in the key of E. You see that? So this, long story short, this delay is just made to resonate only with the intended frequency that you choose. And then the trigger sense, I don't necessarily know exactly what it does. I tried messing with it all the way down, all the way up. And the closest I could come up with is that it has to do with your pick attack. But I didn't find it do much. Attack is when the resonancy kicks in. So like for instance, if you wanted to kick in immediately, you do see the resonant frequency, the delay happens immediately. And if you distance the attack, it comes in later. You see that? So that's what attack is. If you want it to be immediate or if you want it to be delayed, think of it like pre-delay on a reverb. Range is if you want it to only resonate on the low, mid, or highs. You see that? So that's just choosing like, do you want it to resonate on low notes, mid notes, or high notes? So if you're doing like a lot of you want to be higher up, because notice how when I go to low, so you can customize your sound. I like low and mid the best. Feedback is how much, right? So we can kick this feedback down. You'll see it's really quick, but if I up the feedback, it keeps ringing. So that's how many times this delay, it's just the feedback of delay, and then you can choose to low pass the frequencies and choose your stereo width. So that's this tone in a nutshell. How I would probably use it is bring this to like 30%. I tend to like the low setting because it's blends really nicely, and then I would probably layer that with like a reverb. So let's just throw in a small plate and let's just cut that on. So So that's how I'd use that. Again, it's kind of, I like to use it more in a subtle effect, but you could probably do something crazy ambient with it, or just something more like a special effect. So how I would use it as a special effect, I'd probably put it on mid for the resonant range. Crank the feedback That way I get like a trail out of it, and maybe make like a lead tone out of it. And then I would probably do my mix around 50%. And then yeah, so that's a cool little trail there. Let's see here. Almost sounds like a sitar, like that Asian instrument. So I'd probably do something like that so I get that cool trail out of it and make like a lead tone out of it. And then again, you mix that with another delay, some other reverb, and you get some cool tones. And let's just kind of hear how it sounds with some higher gain. So that's pretty cool. Take the reverb off. So that's a cool little special effects tone, and that probably point mix back again to like 30. See how that blends out. So yeah, that's the resonant delay in a nutshell. Interesting pedal. I would use it again more for special effect, as you heard, especially for some like the ambient lead lines, where I'd probably blend this with the reverb. You get that cool delay trail, and that's really what that pedal comes down to, in my opinion. It's that cool delay trail that you can trigger and have it set for, you know, the low range or mid range or high range. So give that pedal a try. Go ahead and copy the settings, blend it with the reverb, and I think you'll get some really cool special effects out of that. But I think it'd be great for clean lines as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial.